Hi everyone. In this video, I am just going to show you how prevalent accounting is in the corporate world, both from a media standpoint and from a just what investors care about standpoint. So let's dive on in. First up, let's take a look at the news. Here are some screenshots from various business news websites that I grabbed a while back. And if we just look at some of the things that you see here, let me kind of highlight a few items. L Brands falls after slashing profit forecasts. And then notice the word accounting is not in that headline. But when we talk about profit forecasts, what we really are talking about is using accounting to determine the profits of the company. In this case, the future profits of the company. And because the company, in this case, L Brands, cut its outlook for its future accounting profits, investors devalued it. They sold off shares. So right then and there, right out the gate, we can see, boy, accounting in the media and a direct investor reaction to accounting numbers just shows you kind of, hey, it's out there, right? It has an impact. Notice here, Lowe's earnings, sales, top Wall Street expectations. Wall Street, when they say Wall Street, what they're referring to is capital markets, whether it's the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ or some other stock exchange. And what happens is there's an expectation based on the valuation of the company of what types of sales it'll make, what types of earnings it will bring in. Those numbers are accounting-based numbers. And of course, when a company falls short, or in this case, beats those expectations, that becomes news and stock prices react. You'll see over here on the right, Alphabet Q1 2020 earnings to give a preview of the coronavirus economic damage. Here is a situation where there is this unique event going on in the world, this pandemic due to coronavirus. And here what we see is these accounting numbers coming out of a major company are actually going to show us, hey, this pandemic is having an impact. It's having an impact on the economy, on business, on people's lives. And we're going to be able to see that from accounting numbers. It's amazing what comes through in accounting. It truly is the language of business. Another similar one with coronavirus, if we look down here, coronavirus forces Adidas to miss forecast with 93% profit plunge, warn on sales. Again, profit, sales, all accounting driven numbers. And here we're seeing again this external force, this pandemic is impacting the economy, and we're able to measure that impact by what's happening with accounting. And you can see this all over the news. And on any given day, open your favorite news website of choice, and you'll be able to see accounting in the news. Similarly, let's talk about when we see certain things in the news, it's not always apparent how accounting is involved. Now, I told you on the last slide, I said, oh, profit, that's an accounting number. Sales, that's an accounting number. But there are other situations where accounting is involved. And so here's just some headlines, and we'll grab a few of these and talk about them. Popeye's chicken sandwich. This was a phenomenon when it came out. Popeye's unleashed this chicken sandwich onto the world, and people were buying it so much that Popeye's just couldn't even keep up with production. So how big of a deal was Popeye's chicken sandwich? Well, there's the anecdote evidence of, well, they couldn't keep it in stock. Well, could they not keep it in stock because demand was so high or because supply was so short? We don't really know, unless we look at the accounting. How were the sales? How was business at Popeyes relative to prior years based on what they were recording from an accounting standpoint? And what you would see is that this chicken sandwich really was a big deal. It drove sales higher, right? And you learn that from the accounting information. Another one over here, it's not just Apple. The ultra complicated tax measures that Microsoft uses to avoid $2.4 billion in U.S. taxes. That's accounting right there in a nutshell. Anytime you see something with taxes and how to calculate what taxes are owed by a company, how to determine whether or not a company can avoid paying those taxes. Notice I'm not saying that they're doing anything illegal. They're just avoiding it through legal means that are available to them. That's accounting-based decisions. There's got to be this analysis of, okay, what do we owe? Do we really owe it, or have we funneled our money in such a way that according to IRS rules and accounting rules, this is not something that we owe? And from that, following up on that, like, if you do owe it, is there a cost-benefit trade-off to withholding payment versus paying now, the penalties and the trouble that you might get into versus keeping that money and making interest on it, making additional profit on it? These are all accounting-based decisions. And whenever you see tax, know that accounting is at the heart of tax. And then I'll do one last one down here. This one right here. Toys R Us files for bankruptcy, but will keep stores open. When you see the word bankruptcy, definitely accounting is involved, because companies, they're their own entities and they last forever in essence unless they perform so poorly that they end up going bankrupt. But how do you know if a company's bankrupt? Well, you know that by knowing what is their financial health. How does their accounting look? Do they owe more than they have? That's a situation where you know that a company is geared toward bankruptcy. Or even if you owe more than what you have, what are your prospects for generating enough income to make up the deficit in the future? These are things that are communicated by financial statements, by the accounting. So whether it's in the news media and investors reacting to things going on with accounting, or whether it's accounting telling us something about the state of the economy, even due to some external force like a pandemic, or it's accounting just telling us more about something we suspect, but putting it concretely. Was Popeye's sandwich a hit? Is Toys R Us really bankrupt? The accounting can answer these questions, and it's vital to business to know accounting and to be able to interpret what the accounting tells us about companies. All right, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you join me in the next video.